we can show people how the work that we do improves the lives of somebody, then we can do more of that work, if that makes sense. Because all of the funding from most of these organizations, some charities receive government funding, many don't. I mean, there are tens of thousands of charities across the country. Many of them are quite small, but they do amazing work. But that work has to be, you have to be able to show somebody that your work is effective for you to be able to continue to get donations, to get funding from funders and so forth. But there's this interesting sort of catch to that, in that traditionally, and this is where I see a bottleneck, if you will, traditionally funders have not wanted to fund those pieces that provide that information to people. So, and it's interesting because so often funders want charities to act more like a business. Well, to be honest, if they acted more like a business, they'd be spending far more money on informational pieces, right? I mean, could you imagine a car dealership not running ads for their cars, or putting an ad in the paper, or having a TV ad, and I'm not even talking about ads, of course. I'm talking about documentary media, like an opportunity to actually show the benefit that happens, how a life is changed through this work. And yet, I think one of the greatest obstacles is that funders actually get too involved in what they want the charity to do with the funds, instead of trusting the charity. They're the ones who have the mission. Trust the charity. Say, I believe in the work that you do, so I'm going to fund you, period. And let them do it, because there's so much opportunity. And I mean, we've seen it. We saw it with this, with this little homelessness piece that was done, that once you do that, the community responds. Now they understand. And if they can understand, then they can move forward with it. And the other thing with this is, when it comes to researchers, like, how do researchers work with charities? So that's sort of the other portion of this, right? And I think for me, the issue is that charities don't even think about researchers unless they're a research-based charity, right? So often the health charities, yep, they work with researchers constantly. They're into that thing. But otherwise, it's really not something that they think about. So how do we get them thinking about, working with somebody? And the same with researchers, I think. Researchers are over, here doing their thing, in their world, and the charities are over here delivering a mission in their world. But there's this disconnect here. And if we can get them together so that you're able to do those things, then I think that really helps.